Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made my American Girl doll house. I've been working on this for about a year now, and I'm just going to be going through and putting together these clips that I've taken throughout the entire process and putting them in order so you guys can see what the process looked like. But before we get started with the video, I just want to give a huge thank you to my mom. She helped me so much with this project. She cut the wood, she drilled the holes. She was a huge help, and it would not have been possible for me to have this dollhouse without her. So, thank you, Mom. So the first thing was to plan out what we wanted the dollhouse to look like. So I decided I wanted it to have 7 rooms, and 3 of them are going to be bedrooms, a playroom, a bathroom, a main living area, like for kitchen, dining room, and like probably where the TV would be, either in there or the playroom. And then also a garage, because I have 2 American Girl doll mopeds, so I thought it would be nice to have them in the garage. I also included a place where there's no room, it's just like a shelf, there's no walls, where I could put my dolls on display when I'm not using them. So the next step was to go to the hardware store and buy all of the wood. The tube that you see laying across it was for a different project, but this is what it looked like going home. It was sticking out of the back of the truck. These pieces of wood were so hard to get into the truck. They were so heavy because they were plywood. They were 3/4 inch plywood, so they were really heavy, and it was a struggle to get them in the car and maneuver them anywhere. So once the wood was at home, we had to measure it, and we had to make sure we drew the lines well so that whenever we cut it, it would be easier. This took quite a long time because of how many little lines we had to draw. So next we cut the wood, and we used a circular saw for this, and we slid it along a little track that we'd set up. This worked pretty well, except for the track was only so long, so we had to move it, and it took a long time. This might have been the most exhausting part, because after this, we didn't work on the dollhouse for quite a while. These are all the pieces of wood after we had cut it and put it back in the garage. So like I said, after we cut the wood, we took a long break from the dollhouse, but then I got motivated and decided I was gonna finish it. So I started painting, and it only took a couple days to paint all the pieces. I just painted them with primer. This isn't the final coat of paint. We're gonna go over this with a different color of paint or wallpaper when it's actually put in the dollhouse. That's why it looks so patchy. I spent a lot of time mixing the paint because my mom told me 100 times forward, 100 times backward. So I spent a lot of time mixing paint. Then I had to move inside into the garage because it started raining, so I started it outside, but I had to move inside because it started raining. When the wood was drying, I was trying to find everything to hold the wood up because it couldn't dry touching the other pieces of wood that I'd already painted, because then they would get stuck together. So I was like putting together a puzzle almost by trying to figure out how to dry these pieces of wood. Next, we had to carry the wood upstairs, which might have been the hardest part because these pieces of wood were so incredibly heavy. But eventually we got them all upstairs, and this is what it looked like when they were all upstairs. We still didn't want them touching in case they might stick. So next we attached the first round of wheels. And I say the first round of wheels because we got like halfway through building this dollhouse. Then somebody suggested, oh, you know what? Let's add more wheels because it looked like it was caving in. So then we had to add 4 more wheels, but those wheels were complicated because we went to the store, we got everything, then we came back, realized we forgot something, went back to the store, realized we forgot something again. It was a whole deal, but this is what the first round of wheels looked like. After we had attached the first set of wheels, we tried to put the dollhouse together and realized we drilled all the holes wrong. Every single hole was too small. We went to the hardware store trying to find smaller screws, but it turned out we just drilled the holes wrong. So we had to redo every single hole. We were using a Kreg jig, which drills pocket screws, so every time we had to reclamp it to drill a different hole. It wasn't that hard, but it was kind of a pain to reclamp the thing every single time. This was our first time using a Kreg jig for a project this big, so it makes sense that we would mess things up. Since we were doing it inside, we were trying to make not such a big mess, so after we would drill the holes, we would go with the vacuum and vacuum up all the little dust. At this point, I was concerned that we were going to have to start all over from the beginning, but we pushed through and everything ended up working out perfectly fine. So after we'd re-drilled all the holes, we started attaching the walls. I don't have any videos of this because one person had to hold the wall up while the other person drilled in the screws, so I didn't have the hand to take a video. Since this was our first project like this, there were some places where, we were off by an inch, so we had to add a little piece of wood, but everything ended up working out really well. Thank you guys for watching this video. There will be a lot of videos in the near future of me decorating this dollhouse. I'm so excited, and it also opens up the opportunity for me to film a lot of new stop motions, so make sure to keep updated. Bye!